I got water and I got water over here.
LaShawn.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, happy Women's History Month.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
So who's our woman for today?
You know what? I'm gonna go for an oldie but goodie. I'm going with Shirley Chisholm. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Renee else is here.
And you know what? And I'm gonna go with my mom too, because my mom called me and she's like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "It's great." She's like, "I knew it would be." All right, please take a seat.
Yes, I got two. One is this.
Try the deep one.
Wait a month.
Yeah, I forgot.
If he please.
There you go. Sorry. And so you need someone though? Yeah.
For real.
Thank you. Good morning. Renee. Do you start?
Yes.
Okay. 17.
Motion to withdraw.
Okay.
All names.
And the name of the one, please?
Real Gitry.
Am I gonna want to pay?
Okay, I'll put it up.
So we're there at 9 o'clock.
You have this case.
I just thought it's 12.
I'm
I
gonna
can
look for
write
it
it.
Okay.
We're now. 7 o'clock.
They should have an
So we're going to close your.
But LaShawn,
Yes.
let me just tell you, there were so many crazy things that were happening on Tuesday.
So.
I should also add this.
Number one, my opponent's father was verbally abusive to a pregnant lady at the poll who was campaigning for me.
No way.
Yeah, I received all these phone calls, knocking cards out of her hand and everything. And then at the polling location I was at, I almost left. My opponent and whoever was working for her, abusive, verbally abusive.
No way.
And then were calling me a wolf in sheep's clothing, whatever that meant. And so then the people who are working with me, they said some more things about me. And I was getting ready to leave, right? And so the person who was working with me was like, "No, Judge, I'm gonna have to call and get you some security." That's how crazy it was getting. And so I started to leave, but it's a good thing I didn't, because the lady came up there and she wanted some advice about civil commitments for her uncle. And then another lady needed help with something. So it's good I stayed. But yeah, I had to have security trail me home.
That is
Wow.
crazy.
It's so, yeah. So I'm like, this is insane.
That is crazy.
So I'm like, things work out for the best.
Right.
Yeah.
It happens for a reason.
And my mom tells me 7 is a perfect number.
It is
Yeah.
the number of completion.
Yes. And my mom said, "And you get to rest some and visit me more." I'm like, "Yes, I will."
The second row is for lay people. First row is for attorneys. Sure.
All right, so everyone, I am going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here. A warrant may be issued for your arrest.
Second row.
In custody, we have Ruben Zamora, Kiosai Smith, Joseph Foz, Luis Morales, Luis Valerio Morales. All right, Deputy Laura, he'll need to be taken into custody. Jason Mejia. Deputy Laura, anyone who's not here by 9:30, they'll need to be in custody.
Yes, Judge.
Jason Donahue,
Yes, sir.
Luis Valerio Morales. Demonte Williams. Custody. Jacob Dilday.
Stand up, please.
Daryl Harper, in custody. Kenneth Thomas. Salinas Guzman. Antonio Carrizales. Thank you. Teresa Zamora, custody. Shane Colette, custody. Akira Santiago. Okay, thank you. She's not on Zoom.
I'm sorry, who's that, Judge?
Akira Santiago.
Okay.
All right, D'Amber Cross, Jesus Rodriguez, custody. Simon Acosta. Simon Richard Acosta. Noel Al Rafati. Noel Al Rafati. Ethan Martinez. Brad Juarez.
You're Ethan?
Brad Juarez. Christopher Arias, custody. Outlaw Walker. Outlaw Walker. Alexis Garcia. Andres Escamilla. Ricardo Ramos. Ricardo Ramos Jr. Pete Alcantar Jr. Daniel Hastings. Daniel Orozco, custody. Kelvin Leah Williams.
Please stand up when your name is called.
Keyshawn Merritt, custody. Alicia Jimenez, custody. Pearl Mendiola.
She's present in the council, Judge. We're gonna take her down and take care of her case.
All right, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Alicia Jimenez, custody. Danny Cantu. Rafael Sosa, custody. Austin Hutto. Austin Michael Hutto. Jewel Lehan or Lejon. Larry Garcia, custody. Courtney Price, custody. Orestes Sandoval, custody. Sebastian Vidales. Courtney Price, custody. Rafael Sosa, custody. Kevin Salinas. Kevin Nicholas Salinas. Robert Odoms, custody. Veronica Ann Valenzuela. Veronica Ann Valenzuela. Marianne Castillo.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Christopher Gibbons, custody. Thank you. Tomas Hernandez Jr. Tomas Hernandez Jr., custody. Michael Marshall, custody. Juan Martinez, custody. Corinne Evangelista. Corinne Evangelista. Theodore Garcia. David Cortez Jimenez. Marco Antonio Marina Vasquez, custody. Robert Castillo, custody. Kivante Thomas. Millard Cummings. Malik Estrada. Jessica Doberman. Maria Herrera. Jose Flores. Frank Garza. Devontae Williams, custody. Francisco Alvarado. Jonathan Robbins, custody. Gloria Jean Hernandez, custody. Malik Estrada, custody. Terrell Guidry, custody. Valerie Marino. Thank you. Monroe Hurd, custody. Luis Valerio Morales. Simon Acosta. Noah Al Rafiti. Brad Juarez. Outlaw Walker. Ricardo Ramos. Austin Hutto. Kevin Salinas. Corinne Evangelista.
I'll give her a call, Your Honor. She's my client.
Thank you. Theodore Garcia. Francisco Alvarado. Anyone who's present and your name was not called? All right, in the red jersey? I'm sorry, what? Casimiro?
Yes.
Do you know who your attorney is? All right, we'll get with you in a moment. And over here?
Andrea Benavides. Andrea Benavides.
All right, just give us a moment. We'll get with you. All right, attorneys, you know the rules. Please confirm. Hi.
So the show, walk you.
Oh, Mel Laura always smells great. Thank you. So awesome.
All the inside here.
It smells great.
But yes, I heard your name and I'm like, that's like.
It has sort of like the grape smell. Yeah.
Are those from that one?
Yes.
That one is on page 13, Judge,
All right.
from the bottom. And then
Jason, comment on you?
I have one too, like that in my back.
Oh, yeah, I got some. They're big too.
Paul? Yes, come here. Marie, Mora?
All right, Adriana. Adriana, they're not ready. It's not even out. Yes. I don't even know if it's.
Was your guys are out yet?
I don't see it.
Okay, so then when they.
I think it's just it.
Oh, do you need to speak to him before?
Well, we'll let them know what we're,
When he
there's
gets-
an agreement on it.
Okay, when he
But,
gets here, I'll.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Hi.
Can I?
Andrea Benavides? I don't know. Luis Valerio Moraz.
Also, we see. So that's just, okay. I don't mind if one of the payment plan for the rest.
But there wasn't a date or anything on. Yes. But I don't have any. Like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. 1:30? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll come back at 1:30. Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Bench,
Yes.
I heard, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I'm attending off. Luis Morales. Oh, and Rafiti is also here. Luis Morales is here.
So you can maybe try to ask the.
Which one? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, you know, these I'm here to live in. Yeah. Luis Morales. Do you have family out there? Can I talk to them? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You very much. Okay, whenever you have to check it out. 3 more.
Everybody's there to feel one.
Okay.
Even nice watch.
Gildry is ready. Yeah, because she's at the. Oh, page 13. I mean, I've watched her for. Thank you.
Option one. Everybody wants to. Here's my thought. So I was thinking. Okay. Maybe 2 for 1 anyway.
So you might say judgmental.
Okay. All right, who's here on Terrell Guidry?
Judge. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Sure, this man.
Where is he?
He's right.
Yeah, just come over. Yeah, let's get you come over. Yes, please.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this? All right, so what is happening with this case?
Your Honor.
Motion to withdraw will be. Submitted to the court. And the state is asking to alter them in conditions for no weapons and
to ensure he pays at least $50 a month towards his restitution.
All right, so how much, so the restitution is $608.82. You've been on probation since April 2024. Why, have you paid anything towards restitution? Why not?
I don't have the excuse. I just,
Tender. By showing defense something that really.
Are you employed?
no, not right now.
When's the last time you had employment?
November.
How much are you going to be able to pay a month towards restitution?
I do like 100.
All right.
Additionally, Judge, the state proposes that, and this is from an email from between 88 Jones and I and Mr. Simmons. The state is also requesting that the defendant provide proof of employment within 30 days.
Your Honor, in talking to my client right now, I don't know that there would be an issue if the court would be willing to, he's expressed a commitment to me to have this paid within 30 days. The $600, $608. Is that correct? Yes.
Well, I'm gonna have him pay $100 per month, and if he can pay the $600 in that time frame, then he can pay it in that time frame. If you get that to probation. So I withdraw the motion. I'm gonna alter and amend your conditions. For you to pay at least $100 per month towards restitution. There's to be no possession of firearms, and you're to provide proof of employment within 30 days of release. And there's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, the range of punishment for this offense is anywhere from 2 to 20 years. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you better start doing things differently, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else is ready?
Perfect.
Yes, I
Your Honor.
have Mr. Santiago, page 3, 2 down.
It's an off-docket matter, but this is for the two file cases that we had coming up, and it's just for the investigative funds. If the court's inclined, I make them attach their invoices. If you want to look at them.
Page 3, 2 down.
There you are. Thank you.
Maybe excuse me. Your Honor.
Yes. All right, Akira Santiago. Where is he?
He is on scene.
Okay, thank you. All right, I need you to show your video. Thank you. Weird. All right. What is happening with this case? Where are we on discovery?
We've gotten discovery, Judge.
All right, and jury trial is set for today.
We,
I believe that we're trying to work out, she has a co-defendant here, we're trying to work out her co-defendant's case. And whether that case resolves will also affect the resolution of this case.
And when is the co-defendant's case?
You said it today.
All right, and who is the co-defendant?
That would be
Carl Robinson? Is Carl Robinson on the docket today? Because I don't see him on the docket.
Yes.
It's slow.
Well, he should be on the docket for today. I'm trying to see him. Does anybody see him on the docket? All right, he should be on the docket for today. But for some reason, he's not.
Didn't show up. Didn't show up. I do double check those. Really? I crashed out.
All right,
Well, first
I apologize, I did not see him on the docket.
he's supposed to be. Norbert, recall him for Monday. All right, we'll recall him for Monday and we'll recall her for Tuesday.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
9 a.m. on Tuesday, right?
Yes, and you'll need to be in
I got
court
it
on
here.
Tuesday. All right, you're excused.
She can appear by Zoom again. She
No,
lives-
because we'll know whether or not you'll need to confer with the state because we'll need to know where this trial is on Mr. Robinson.
All right, thank you. Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you.
Yes.
But you guys paid your money, correct?
And Norma, that's a jury trial setting.
Yes, ma'am. I did put it on.
Thank
Oh, yeah,
you.
she is here, I'm sorry, she is. Teacher.
We're close.
Okay. Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. It's okay.
All right, who else is ready?
Givens, page 9, thirty down. This is a Givens.
Christopher Charles Gibbons.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, how's it going?
It's going. Going right hand.
All right, where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, I represent Mr. Givens on two indicted cases, and there are two unindicted cases that are coming. The state didn't have a file today. This is our first setting. I'm reaching out to Mr. Givens, drug court supervisor, and we are downloading discovery, but there's a few different angles that we're drawing everything together. The state is knowing that I'm asking for a reset to gather all four cases together.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset for discovery.
Is that all you'll be needing, Your Honor, or after the date? Thank you so very much.
That'd be, April 20th. 1 second, just
No, April 20th is not the right day.
do, April 27th.
All right, we'll have you all brought back on April 27th. That'll be for discovery. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, who's next?
Yes, and I have a Joseph Foss, page 1, to read down.
That's my case, Judge.
All right, Mr. Foz. And I see there's another case that's awaiting indictment.
Yeah, so I talked with Family Violence and they made an offer to TIC that case in exchange for a plea on the other charge.
Mhm.
I talked to Brandon. He's going to contact the complainant. I just want to see if we can get a plea bargain deadline.
How much time are you asking for?
Brandon, what do you think? Couple weeks?
Yeah, a couple weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date.
I can do March 26th.
All right, we'll bring you back on March 26th.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, who else is next?
Yeah, Daniel Odoroko, page 5, to read down.
And Judge, that's also my case. I have an offer to plead him to his misdemeanors and they're going to dump his felony in a couple other cases. He's set in county court 5 this morning on 2 of them. I'm going to go see if they can bring him down to plead him.
Okay,
And then I'm set in county court 13 on Monday.
all right.
So I just want to see if we can maybe recall it for next, well, I'm not out of town next Friday. But once I get the plea done on Monday, I'll bring the state proof so they can submit the dismissal on the.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll just set him on Monday then, and I'll notate in the system that you'll be out of county.
That'll work. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Norma Orozco is coming back on on Monday.
Orozco? So you could.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got the sign in on the table.
Thank you.
All right, who's next?
I don't have my sign-in sheet yet, but I don't believe anybody did at first time. I'll prepare that for you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And then Thompson Estate are still very far behind. Number of. Liz, and that. Sure.
Judge, I do have someone ready, and Jacob Bill's Day on page 2 down.
Jacob Dilday?
Bring her on.
Morning. All right, who's the prosecutor on Jacob Dilday? All right, so where are we on discovery?
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Dilday is being evaluated by mental health court. He's had his initial assessment. They'd like to go forward with the process. So,
So has he already been referred?
yes,
All right,
he was restored to competency, referred to mental health court, evaluated, and there's just another process.
all right, we'll call in 30, recall this in 30 days. You may want to talk to Renee Munoz because I know he is one of the attorneys for mental health.
I'm here.
Hi, he's call his name 3 times and he appears. All right, so Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset. And then if he's in mental health court before then, this date will fall off.
Okay, thank you.
I'll give you my information in case you have questions about the program.
Okay,
All right, so we'll come back on April 6th.
all right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Who else?
I don't have anybody.
Thank you.
Want me to give them a reset on that?
Yes. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
May I approach?
Yes.
In the middle of something?
Oh, no.
I've got Gloria Hernandez on the docket. It's an MTR.
Mhm.
We're basically pleading true, but with an explanation.
Okay.
I don't know if that means we do it today or we have to.
No, we do it today.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you, Judge.
Ready, Judge?
Okay, just give me one.
Yes, ma'am.
One. Feels like prescribed.
All right, what page?
Yes, ma'am. Mary Ann Castillo is on page 9, 2 down.
Mary Ann Castillo?
Whatever you do, I want to have knee surgery April 1, knee replacement. I'll probably be out almost all of April.
Okay. All right, come forward, miss.
It's on.
Hi. So where are you on discovery?
Judge, this is the first setting I have discovery, but I've got to go back and look at videos before I can make an argument to the state why they ought to dismiss it.
Okay, so did they tender an offer though?
They're in the process of doing that right now. I know I won't be able to accept it today until I see the videos.
Ms. Ferguson, put this at the last week in March for plea deadline date. Is that good for you? What date?
I can do the 31st.
That'll work.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you
Well,
excuse.
31st is that a Monday?
Tuesday.
The next day, I get
No,
I
if
get an
you have.
I get an
April
operation
1st
on April 1.
No, you can't.
Can you do it a couple,
Yeah.
the
it has to
last
be
of the week
before.
before, like Friday, the week before that? Yeah.
I can do.
That's good.
All right, so we'll bring you back on the 24th. All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused.
Thank you.
You're
Let
welcome.
me get your receipt.
All right, who's next?
Yes, ma'am. I have Kenneth Thompson, page 2, 4 down.
All right, Kenneth Thompson. Who is the attorney? Mr. Thompson, come down.
He's got that walker, Your Honor.
Ah,
Judge, can we confirm this one with just for?
all right, just have a seat, sir. They're gonna confer a little bit. While they're conferring, anyone else ready?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have Gloria Jean Fernandez.
Page 13, first one, you first one. I don't work.
Gloria Jean Hernandez.
We're ready.
All right, where is she?
She's in.
Come down, please. Hello. Court is calling 2020 CR 9867 State versus Gloria Jean Hernandez. Can I have parties announced?
Albert Chidas or Ms. Hernandez?
And are you Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Gloria Jean Hernandez who's placed on community supervision on January 12, 2021 for a term of 5 years for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
In violation of condition number 5 in Dare County, Texas, the defendant, Gloria Jean Hernandez, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February and March 2021 in violation of condition.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? State. Any objections?
No objection,
Did
Judge.
you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5? Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is no. State is asking that you grant the state's motion, revoke the defendant's community supervision and sentence her for the 2 years in the state jail facility based on the plea of true. The defendant was placed on probation in January 2021 and failed to report thereafter.
All right, defense.
Judge, I'd like to call my client as a witness.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm that that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Gloria Jean Hernandez.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Hernandez, you recall being placed on probation on January 2021?
Yes,
Were you living in San Antonio at the time?
I will.
Okay. And did you report to probation?
When I first got out, first month,
Okay. And when you reported, what were you instructed to do?
I was supposed to give a drug test and laws come out dirty. They were supposed to report me back to the judge and get a drug test, I believe. And when my probation officer asked me if I was dirty, I told her I would probably still be dirty because I was in for maybe like 3 weeks when I got out. So after that, she said that she was gonna have to report him to the judge. So I just didn't report no more after that, and I didn't wanna get in trouble.
Okay. And how is it that you got arrested and brought to this court?
This time,
Yes.
oh, I was working at a job site in Ohio. I live at now, and they served a felony warrant and they ran my name.
Was the felony warrant for you or
No,
someone
no,
else?
no, the owner of the house.
Okay. And so when the police went out, they ran your information and they found out warrant out of Texas?
Yes,
Okay. This whole time, have you been living in Ohio or in San Antonio or where have you been living?
I've been living in Ohio. I moved to Ohio back in February of 2021.
Okay. So the very next month you moved to
Yes.
Ohio? Okay. In Ohio, have you been arrested for any offenses? Okay. Are you asking the court to keep you on probation?
Yes,
Are you willing to do everything that you're supposed to have done on probation?
yes.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, state.
Okay, Ms. Fernandez, so you're saying that you've been living in Ohio since you were granted probation in
After.
Okay, and I couldn't quite hear you, but are you saying your probation officer told you that you should just have to report?
No, 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 no.
Okay, sorry, can you repeat what you
No,
said?
she said that when I got out, when I reported, she said that she asked me if I was dirty.
Okay,
And I told her that I tried to was still good because I wasn't, not even a month. And she said she would have to report me to my judge.
So then I had a report after that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so then the address that you provided to probation back then, do you recall that being 3550 South Thurs
Yes.
Street? How do you look at that location?
I was there for a while before I got arrested.
Okay, and so is that where you're saying you were there before you got arrested for the unauthorized?
Yes.
Okay, and then so when you were placed on probation, did you go back and live there for a period?
No, I moved, I was only there for about a week and then I moved to Ohio back in February. Cause I'm from Ohio, but I was here.
And so when you moved to Ohio, did you notify your probation officer that you were gonna be moving or having a change of address?
No,
Okay, and then were you aware that your probation officer had made multiple phone attempts to reach you and also visited that location, South Thurs, to find you and could not?
no,
Okay.
I didn't know I was supposed to wear it.
And so I guess your attorney said that you're asking this court to be still on probation, is that correct? And so my question to you is, why do you want to be on probation?
Because ever since, I left here, I haven't been in no trouble. I've been doing good. I have a job over there. I have my house. And it's been going on 5 years now, I think. And I haven't got in any trouble. When I was here, I can't get in trouble like back to back.
And I hear what you're saying, right? But you would agree with me that the point of probation is to get people help so that they can be rehabilitated, right? And so at the time, right, when you were still using drugs, the correct choice at that time would have been to be forthcoming with your judge so that you could get treatment for that, right?
But I haven't been on drugs since though.
Okay, but have you provided any drug tests to the probation department? So we're just gonna have to take your word for that, right? There's no evidence of that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We pass the witness.
Any further questions?
No further questions, Judge.
All right, it states that as a part of a plea bargain agreement, that money was to be paid to SAPD for the drug testing. Has that been paid?
I don't think in, go ahead.
And no, I was aware of that.
Okay.
Judge, no payments have been made.
All right. Counsel, she didn't sign the, form. All right, part of the number one thing you have to do when you're on probation is report. Okay?
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding violation of condition number 5 true. The court is going to grant the motion revoke. The court will sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. The court is going to request the therapeutic community, and there's to be $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on community supervision. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay? You're welcome. Thank you. All right, who's next?
Yes, ma'am. I have a Valerie Monroe on page 14. Monroe.
Rotary was on the other sheet.
Valerie Monroe? Good morning.
I'm so sorry.
Hello. All right, is state, do they have any objections?
They do.
Okay,
And I talked to probation and probation also has an objection.
all right. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 006933 State versus Valerie Marino. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Gallery for the state.
Travis Kettner, Your Honor, for Valley Moreno, we're ready.
And are you Miss Marino? All right, it's my understanding that defense, you're asking for early termination?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, that's okay. Judge, my client has paid all the restitution. She has also paid the court costs. She is current on her fees. Her last drug test was clean. Her first one or two were dirty, but her last one was clean. Your Honor, my client just got out of the women's shelter within about the last week or so. And she was a victim of a sexual assault. She was also the victim of a currently pending felony domestic violence case here in San Antonio. The reason we're asking for her to get off of probation is the women's shelter is trying to help her get housing, and the felony probation has slowed it down, to say the least. And so she has no priors. Obviously, she's done what's been asked of her, and I know it is early, but it would certainly help her life quite a bit if she could move on.
All right, state.
But we're not in agreement at this time. The defendant was placed back to further adjudication on October 27th of 2025. So I don't think that the statutory requirements has been met as to that. But further, because there is a victim that was involved in this case, we would request further supervision to keep the no contact order.
All right, so here's the issue. Like, I'm always gonna follow the law. And it's true, you haven't met the statutory requirements for me to even consider early termination. But once you do that, I won't be here to address that issue, but you'll need to address it with the next person who's here. But if I were here and you were doing well, I would grant the early termination. So the record will show that I would grant the early termination and hope the person who comes here next will grant your early termination if there are no issues. Probation. Do you think she would be appropriate for reporting by mail, or either maybe reporting once every 2 months to have? All right. All right. So you just have to continue abiding by your conditions, okay?
Is it possible to reduce her fees, Judge? I think she's paying the full 60 right now. How much you pay for fees?
I don't know, I just give hundreds of dollars.
Well, this is, well, I will tell you what, with regards to fees, there's a law with regards to that too. They have a data sheet you can fill out, and that data sheet, that will be based upon, once you completed it, I'll be able to view it, and they'll let me know whether or not you should be paying minimum amount or if you should be paying nothing at all. And they'll base it upon your ability to pay. All right, so probation, just ask probation to make sure that
Okay.
that's done. All right, thank you.
Judge.
All right, who's next?
Outlaw Walker, page 4 down.
Outlaw Walker?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I haven't been able to make contact with Mr. Walker.
Okay.
For a minute, I thought maybe it was Walker Outlaw.
Yeah. But it always makes me think of Walker, Texas Ranger. I don't know. You know, I was upset because Walker, Texas Ranger came out the same time that Raven came out. And they discontinued the Raven series, saying that it was too violent. I'm like, no weapons were used. It was just martial arts. Oh, the actor who starred in that was Jeffrey Meek.
Oh, okay.
So he grew up, I think, with the Yakuza. And he ended up betraying them, you know, turning over evidence or something. And he didn't realize they had a son. So the entire series, he was trying to search for his son because the mother had been killed by the Yakuza. And so that was the entire series. And they cut it off before we ever knew if he ended up finding his son or not. The person who played in that also was the guy from Lee Majors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was like a friend of his, former military guy. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 015119. Oh, before we do that, have you tried to contact the bondsman? Is he on a PR bond or
I believe he's on a commercial bond.
do you want to call the?
I called the numbers that I had.
Okay, all right, court is calling 2025 CR 015119 State versus Outlaw Walker. Can I have parties announced?
That's for the state.
Roberto Ambrosino for the defense.
All right, this hearing is scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:53 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance in the court. Deputy, if you could announce for Outlaw Walker. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I haven't, and I've made an attempt to contact him this morning unsuccessfully. And I haven't had any prior contact with him.
All right, deputy's gonna make an announcement. All right, deputy, did you make an announcement? And what were the results?
Nobody yet.
All right, state.
Would be requested a bond for superior.
All right, that will be granted and your client will be remanded without bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
day.
one. All right, who's next?
Yes, ma'am, I do have a Monroe Heard, page 14 at the bottom. It's reset. Asking for a refresh.
Hello.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Monroe Heard. All right, and what's the status?
Judge, just a quick update. I spoke
no.
with felony drug court. There had seemed to be some type of clerical error in the system to where it was showing that a motion to revoke was filed on Mr. Hurd.
Mhm.
That was not the case. He's never had a motion to revoke or anything like that. Felony drug court initially denied him because of the error that was in the system. We've got that cleared up. They are willing to accept his case and he is supposed to be accepted tomorrow.
Okay,
That is our understanding, Judge. We did find a clerical error, brought it to the court's attention. That was rectified. And it's our understanding as per probation that he does meet criteria for that. I also did check and he does not have any parole holds or any holds that would limit him being into the program. And we're very appreciative of this court saying that referral for him to get into felony drug court. And I spoke with him about the program and how we're looking forward to seeing him graduate and walk across the stage one day, having changed his life around the help of this court. So we're very appreciative of that, and he's looking forward to this opportunity to change his life.
all right, good luck to you. I will, even though I'm not gonna be here, I'll still show up to your graduation. All right, congratulations. You're welcome. All right, who's next?
Mr. We have a Valerie Monroe, page 14-1.
Oh, we've already done
Oh, okay.
Valerino.
Okay. I'm looking for Frank Garza. Page 12. One.
Frank Garza.
That's not a personal note. Yes, I'm asking for a direction more than anything. I wasn't sure whether to ask for research, set or to ask for it contested. There's an MTR filed. He had been evaluated last week, I believe, at the jail for TAP evaluation and the first step.
Him as a motion to, oh,
I have it right here, Judge.
have you conferred with the state?
I have. I've conferred. The state's just asking for revocation. Probation is asking for GDRF. But they evaluated him, did the first phase, I guess, of the mental health evaluation.
Mhm.
And he's scheduled for the Tacoma or whatever, June the 9th. And so I understand from probation that because of that, he wouldn't even be eligible to go to GDRF until after that's completed.
All right, so I'll hear the motion to revoke unless it's gonna be contested,
Well,
because I'm not waiting till June 6th for some.
okay. Right, I think we're prepared to
The problem is we don't have an agreement on all of it then, if that's what the court wants to. Let me talk to the state again,
Okay, sure.
but it will be probably.
Okay. And then on these, I'm gonna need trial court certification. All right, who's next?
I don't have anybody available, Judge.
Simon Acosta? You need to get on the second row. Ricardo Ramos? Did you make an announcement for Ricardo Ramos in the hallway?
I think Ramos is going down to misdemeanor,
Okay.
courts to take care of this case.
All right, thank you. Austin Hutto? All right, just have a seat. Kevin Nicholas Salinas? Veronica Valenzuela? Veronica Ann Valenzuela? Corinne Evangelista?
She just arrived, or he just arrived, Judge. She's with Mr. Munoz, Rene Munoz.
Okay, thank you. Theodore Garcia? Theodore Ted Garcia? Could you make an announcement for that person in the hallway, please? And also, if you can make an announcement for Francisco Alvarado as well. And Deputy Laura, if they're not in the hallway, those are going to be bond forfeitures. Hey, how's it going?
Let me know anything.
Oh, you're so awesome. Hey, well, you know what? I am very happy. There was some crazy things that were happening at polling sites. Like people threatening violence. And I'm like, this is so insane.
I know, you know why that is.
Mhm.
With the-
And so, I was receiving phone calls, my opponent's father being verbally abusive to a pregnant lady who was handing out my campaign material. Then at the polling site I was at on Tuesday, the person who was working for my opponent was saying abusive things to me. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. And then the people who were there with me, they're like, Stephanie, you haven't heard the half of it. And so I had to have security at the polling site with me.
What?
Yes, it was just, I'm like, this is insane. And not insane in the legal sense, just,
Yeah, I'm very sorry that ever happened.
oh no,
Anyway.
they were doing like this win at all costs things. And I'm just like, I'm not here for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like an ethics commission.
Mhm.
complaint.
So I'm just like, and my mom called me, she's like, 7 is a perfect number. And she said, now you have a chance to do a lot, because my mom said
I don't know the.
she doesn't think that people know how much work goes into this,
Huh?
like trying to do the right thing for people. So I hope that,
Take on the time.
yeah, I'm hoping that people get the help that they need still. And then do things for me. So I didn't end up getting home because I had to have security follow me home and taking different routes. I had security in front of me and behind me, taking me on a different route to get me home to make sure nobody was following me. That's how crazy it was. And then I got home, took a nice little bubble bath, because I always go to sleep, right? And then I got up the next morning because I was going to the Young Women's Leadership Academy, because they had the Read Across America. Those young girls are so cute and so funny. And so I read to them this book called Boxy Text.
Box it text?
Boxy Text.
Okay.
And it's about this girl who's a boxy tech. And I was like, please let me pronounce all these words correctly. And so basically, she lives with her mom and she builds a lot of things out of boxes. So they sent her to a maker class or maker institute. And she was so happy. She was the only boxy tech there. But everyone else had their thing that they were good at. So you had the blanketeers. They made a bunch of things out of blanket. Then the spaghetti tears, making things out of spaghetti. And so it's about these two girls. One felt special, but then another girl comes along and she's a boxer tech too. And she's sort of better than the other girl. And so it was about resolving their conflict and working together as a team to build a great structure. And do you know now at schools, of course, I grew up in film strip days, right? They don't, of course, they don't have the film strips. They have a docu-cam like they have here, where you can just put the book on the docu-cam, turn pages so all of the students can see it. But
Don't have to
I
about
read
burning the
to-
film.
yeah, I think I read to like 4 classes. And I gave them 2 books to choose from, and all of them chose box of text. And then there was one long student, no, I want to read the other one. So I read the first one. I'm like, do we have time to read the second one? So the second one too, I think it was called Build Something. And it was about how everything, architects, how a lot of people are involved. And so it was great. So I enjoyed it.
That's a wonderful thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice.
So I'm happy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let me know
You've
what
always
you
been
need.
my treasure since day one. So
Let
I
me know
love
what
it.
you need and I'm here.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But I will tell you, I don't know if you remember Laura, but Laura was like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great. It's fine. She's like, I'm so happy because we keep saying we're going to go to Vegas to go to the Sphere to see some show, but we never can because I'm constantly here and doing other things. She's like,
Experience.
now we can do it.
I've been there and we're going again. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see. I hate I missed Wizard of Oz
Yes.
because they said it was good. But I'm gonna see what else they have on tap and I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
Go. It's unusual. It's
you.
it's pretty cool. If you have a vertigo, if you know, sometimes I get that, you look up,
Yeah.
don't go to the upper deck because
Go
it's
to
really vertical.
in
Yeah.
the middle. You know what? The first time I went to a Spurs game here, I almost got vertigo.
Yeah.
And because you're up and it's just straight.
Sphere is more of that, more.
Can't do it. So when are you and your wife going to take another trip somewhere?
Not this year. We had such a big trip last year and thank God we went given everything that's happening now. But not this year, maybe probably 2027, I would imagine.
I tell you what, my goal is I'm going to go back and I'm going to do that again, because I don't think I experienced it as much as I wanted to. Go Ahead Tours has a trip that is the Italian Riviera and the French Riviera.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that in France, they have like a cultural thing. And it happens all over France at a specific time. And so they were just coming out of the pandemic when I went on that trip, and it was awesome. There were people doing plays, people singing, stuff was free.
Not to like.
Oh yeah, and the seafood was great. I was right on the beach, eating my mussels and watching performers.
That's a beautiful,
Yeah.
I'd be interested in going back.
So yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I wanted, the person I met there, it's such a small world. He knew somebody here that I knew. And he's like, yeah, when my wife was alive, we would always take a train through all of France for this cultural fest. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to do that again.
Let me know.
That's on my list.
Absolutely.
All right, good seeing you.
See you too.
All right.
Bye.
Mhm. All right, who's next?
Different, Antonio Corrales, page 25 down.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can we back that up? Sure. I think.
All right, Frank Garza.
Yes, Judge.
Court is calling 2025 CR 005952, State versus Frank Garza. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Donald Wilson for Mr. Garza.
And are you Mr. Garza? All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Frank Garza who was placed on community supervision in 2025 CR 0059 5-2 for the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon with a felony conviction on August 26, 2025 for a term of 2 years. Is that you? All right, state.
I apologize. I believe I need a motion. When I was looking at the court file, I believe that the judgment was for a reduction of attempted possession.
Yes.
Or unlawful possession, the
Mhm.
third degree on it.
That's
So
correct.
So at this time, I'm gonna ask to amend the motion to revoke for it to read offense of attempted unlawful carried weapon.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, are you the same Frank Garza who was placed on community supervision for the offense of attempted unlawful carrying of a weapon with a felony conviction on August 26, 2025 for a term of 2 years? Is that you? And did you review the motion to revoke community supervision and the first amended motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney and understand it? All right, state.
Violation of condition number 4 and Fair County Tax Superintendent Frank Garza did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November and December 2025 in violation of condition number 4.
To that, how do you plead, true or not true?
And we'll wait them down.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court would find it true, grant the motion and sentence you up to 2 years in the prison?
Speak up.
All right, you have to
Yes,
speak up.
ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
There is not. State is asking that you grant the state's motion, revoke the defendant's community supervision, and sentence him to the underlying sentence of 2 years in prison.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, since he's been locked up, the probation has completed a TAP evaluation and started a mental health evaluation. And they feel that he's in need of some mental health assistance, and I believe they're recommending DDRF. I believe that's a good program for Mr. Garza. I don't know if you remember this case a few months back when you placed him on probation. This is one where he's homeless and he found the gun and was trying to turn it in. And so it was a technical violation of the law. And that's why we ended up with a plea of attempted possession of the gun. He's still homeless, still struggling with those types of issues, still struggling with his mental health issues. And we believe that getting him some help while the court has jurisdiction, as opposed to just placing him in an incarcerated situation, would be a benefit to him and to society. So we would ask the court to amend for DDRF and get him.
I mean, I understand his issues, but why isn't he reporting? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Frank Dodson.
All right, why are you not reporting?
The time frame of the housing where I was staying at, where my probation officer actually requested address, I couldn't use the Haven for Hope address because they're over capacity. So unless I'm staying there, I can't use it. So
No, that has nothing to do with reporting. I'm like, why didn't you?
I reported it just from, it was like a 2-month period of separation. I think I kind of missed the date on my reporting. So I do admit, but the situation trying to have somewhere to stay, you have to constantly be moving around, waiting for housing downtown. So I have to wait downtown. So finding a location to be at, very difficult with the law enforcement officers constantly asking us to move.
All right, but it's saying that you don't report for November and December, which means nobody has seen you since October.
Well, I stay right here downtown, like right next.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're saying you stay right downtown, but probation doesn't know that because you're not reporting to them.
Well, I let the probation know. I literally stay like right where the buildings are. That's what we're at. We just have to be moving around the location because we can't stay. We can only stay like 72 hours.
No. I understand what you're saying. That has to do with you not having a residence, but it doesn't have anything to do with you not reporting to probation. So I'm trying to figure out why didn't you report to probation? You say you're moving around, which means you can get from one location to the next. All you had to do was report to probation once a month. So I'm trying to figure out why you're not reporting to them.
I mean, I could tell you, but I mean, it's gonna be considered like that, so, you know, I don't wanna consider it as as an excuse, but.
No, just tell me, because I'm
My
trying to
daughter
figure
was-
out where you're coming from.
Well, my oldest daughter was beaten, so I was handling that. So helping her, I even getting her in there, that's what she went. You know, her boyfriend's actually locked up right now. He beat her with a gun, so that was one of those situations.
Okay, I understand that. And I'm internalizing everything you're saying, but unless your daughter was somewhere where you need to be with her for 2 months, which normally in a calendar, is 60 days.
She stayed with me 30 days on the street until she actually got accepted in, because that's the requirement.
Okay, but still, that doesn't explain why you didn't report at least once out of the month for November, December. That's what I'm trying to figure out why. All right, any questions?
No, Judge.
All right. Here's the thing, I mean, the number one thing you have to do is report.
I needed like 7 more classes for private too.
Okay,
I mean, you know, I was on top of it.
I need signatures.
This is good. Most of one of the blacks of what it shows here.
What do I say?
All right, the court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court will grant the motion, revoke, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and the court will recommend the therapeutic community. You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, good luck to you. All right, who's next? Yep.
Antonio Corrales, page 2, 5 down.
Judge, Mr. Garza, state is tendered a dismissal on.
Oh, thank you. All right, Antonio Carrizales.
Corrales here.
Corrales. All right, thank you.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. So how is Mayor? I know she's doing great though.
She's taking it in stride, Judge.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, have like a strange one-sided sunburn from being out there helping her out because my left side was facing the sun most of the day.
So on this case, you have all discovery?
I think we do, Judge. There's a lot of it still coming through it all, but I think we were set today for the state to make an offer, which they've made one.
Okay.
I need some time to discuss it with my client, and the pros and cons of doing it.
How old are you?
27.
27?
He also suffers from some mental health issues, so we want to coordinate with his care team on it as well.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a plea deadline date in 45 days.
Perfect, Judge. Thank you.
April 27th.
All right, we'll see you back on April 27th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, who's next?
Page 7 down. Says dual.
Jewel Luhan?
We're just requesting a reset, Your Honor.
Okay.
Conferred with the state and they wanted to do some classes up front for potential plea bargain, so that just need a reset.
Where is he?
Is he on? Sorry.
All right, come up. So have you received all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what classes are they asking for?
The DWI intervention course and the VIP.
And the BIP?
VIP, VIP.
VIP, okay.
Sorry.
And then what, is something gonna happen with this case or?
Yes, but depending if it does the classes, will determine the plea bargain.
All right, and how long is it gonna take him to do these classes?
30 to 60 days perhaps, I don't know.
Yes, I have no information. I don't know how thorough their class is.
All right, you should be able to get that done online and get it done quickly, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 60-day reset for a plea deadline date.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
May 4th.
All right, we'll come back on May 4th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Me again. And that would be on Elijah Jimenez, Alicia Jimenez.
All right, what page is that?
She's in custody.
She's page 6, Judge.
All right, Alicia Jimenez.
She's not out.
She's not out, Judge. She's in special housing. She's acting.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this?
It's family violence.
All right, what is happening on this case?
Tender, I sure was just waiting for if her client had come, that she was gonna talk to her client about it and see if there's anything.
All right, Norma, and I'm sorry, defense, you have all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, on this, Norma, recall this in 2 weeks for a plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
That I
Oh, no
control
problem.
over that. Okay, so I'm beginning to sign on this other one and then.
Yes.
March 19th.
I'm sorry.
March 19th.
Oh, for that other one.
All right, who's next?
You already did, yes. Jewel. Jewel. Or we just finished doing, yes, so it's gonna be shameful that we have a plea. Agnes Colette.
All right,
Here you go.
thank you.
No. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Teresa.
All right, who are the parties on Shane Collette?
Right here you are.
Come down, please. Is there an application in this case?
No.
All right, probation, there's no application. Court is calling 2025 CR 012107 State versus Shane Collette. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Brian Kimbrough from Mr. Collette.
I'm so sorry. Can you rewrite a different one?
We saw the yellow.
Thank you. And are you Mr. Collette?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Collette, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Collette, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Collette, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 60 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's a $600 fine. There are no applications, and the state will take in consideration 2025 CC 009268. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
It is, Your Honor.
State? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by your court, by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any such motion?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest, Your Honor.
State any evidence.
Sheet offer states exhibit 1 and all.
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Ask the judge, the court to follow the plea bargain, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 60 days in the Bexar County Jail on a 1244. Give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2025 CR 009268. There's a $600 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Is this supposed to be a judgment satisfied?
I believe, well, I didn't, he tells me he has more than enough time, but I didn't check.
To the court, does he have 60 days?
Yeah, I can check right now.
I think he has less, but a 2 for 1, I think it's all.
Also.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
So he has the 60 days? All right, so this is what I'm gonna tell you. I know that at the jail, if you're in general population, you receive 2 days credit for every day that you're in, but I'm not in charge of you receiving 2 days credit. The only thing I can tell you is I'm sentencing you to 60 days and the most you'll stay is 60 days. You understand? But I can't say judgment satisfied for you because you don't have the full 60 days.
They'll calculate.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you,
You're
Your
welcome.
Honor.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
You're welcome. She is not even combined. Yes. If it was after 9:30, yes.
Judge for that, Theodore, did the judges warrant or the?
Just 1 second. Let me see what page it's on.
Page 10.
Yeah, that's a judge's warrant, remain without bond.
Yes, thank you. May I approach you on it?
Yes.
Want to say hi.
Hey, how's it going? Good. Oh, doing great. Okay, so let me just tell you.
Yeah.
Well, mistakes have been made. but, we'll see you soon. I just
All
wanna
right,
say
thank
hi.
you. You're so awesome. All right. Oh, yes, you are. Go on with your awesomeness. All right, who's next?
Yes, and I have a Michael Marshall, page 9, 5 down.
All right, Michael Marshall. Okay, on this case, where are we on discovery?
On discovery, Judge, there are a number of videos. There were different officers that had their body cams in relation to some alleged statements he made. So I'm still sifting through that. It does look sufficient at this point, Judge, but we're respectfully requesting a reset for a discovery slash plea bargain deadline, Your Honor.
Has the state already gave an offer?
Not yet, Judge. I let them know that I was still looking into the discovery first setting today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, is 45 days enough?
Yes, Your Honor, that would be perfect.
All right, if I could have a 45-day reset for discovery and for the state to tender an offer. And this is Marshall.
April 27th.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back on April 27th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, and an offer due. All right, who's next?
I don't have to sign it. She does.
You want him to go back?
Sure. Pete, Alfonso, page 5, 2 down. Alfonso.
All right, Pete Alcantar.
For present, Your Honor.
All right, where is he? Hello. All right, let me see. All right, where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, I've reviewed it. I still have to go over some of it with my client. I'm assuming we have everything.
Was an offer tendered?
No, not yet.
All right, Norma. Recall this for 30 days and say at that time you need to prepare to tender an offer.
April 6th.
All right, April 6th.
Thank you.
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who's next?
One moment, Judge. We have someone signing in. I have an Alexis Garcia, page 4, 5 down.
Alexis Garcia.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, where are we on discovery?
We have all discovery and the state has tender an offer. We're just waiting for them to file the misdemeanor case. Part of the agreement is to plea on that, and then this one will be dismissed.
All right, Norma, if I can have a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date?
Yeah, April 6th.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who's next?
Did we do Teresa Zamora?
No.
No.
Okay, page 2, it's Donnie. You get called.
By case, Your Honor.
Hello.
Hi. She's
Teresa
actually,
Zamora?
she's not here. She's in Hidalgo County Jail.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a Zoom schedule for Teresa Zamora. Recalling in 30 days. Do you have a offer from the state?
I do.
And have you received all discovery?
Yes.
All right, 30 days.
April 6th.
April 6th? Okay.
And Norma, you need to have a Zoom. Are you okay with Zoom?
Yeah, if I have an opportunity to confer with my client, because I haven't never talked to her. I mean, she's in dog camps.
All right.
So I can do that, I guess.
All right, Norma, and you'll do the Zoom from Hidalgo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. All right, who's next?
Yes, ma'am. I have an Ethan Martinez. Let me find him just 1 moment.
All right, I see it. Ethan Martinez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so where are we on discovery on this case?
We are missing the underlying drug discovery.
All right, state. On this, they say they're missing the drug discovery.
I'm sorry, good.
They say they're missing the drug discovery.
Yes, Judge. I believe it's like the blood test result, where we need to get a signed copy of the standing order.
No, I mean, this is possession less than a gram. I'm sorry, possession 1 to 4 grams.
Yes,
Is there a
ma'am.
DWI somewhere?
No.
No,
Okay.
but I was thinking it was similar to that.
Thank you. So you want the data behind the testing?
Yes, Your Honor. There was meth in marijuana and a THC pen,
Okay.
allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah, you gotta do that, yeah. All right, so how long is that gonna take?
As soon as we get the standing order, we can send it off to DPS. I'm unsure about how long it takes them to get back to us.
All right, so do y'all have a standing order?
No, Your Honor, it was my impression that the state drafts the standing order and gets it signed, or is it defense? I'm not sure who does the standing order.
Well, if they don't have a standing order for drug testing, normally they will have a standing order for blood testing, but I don't believe they have a standing order for drug testing. And so you'll need to file it and put in it what you're requesting.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, and so y'all need to have that done. And do y'all have one at the office?
We do. So I'll get that filed.
Okay. All right, Norma. Recall this in 45 days, and you all need to have that standing order to the court by tomorrow.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right, what date?
I can do the 27th of April.
All right, so just sign the reset form. Once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank
You have a seat. Thank you.
All right, who's next?
Kenneth Thompson. Can you turn him in right now?
Okay,
What wait on that one, Judge? What is it?
go to the next one.
I think it's Andres Escamilla.
Andres Escamilla.
Present, Your Honor.
Something toward the market.
Sorry, Odyssey is slowing down a little bit.
So first setting, Judge.
All right, so do you have all discovery?
I have all discovery. I have a plea offer, Your Honor. I'm asking, we can reset this for the 19th or 20th of this month.
How old are you?
20.
All right. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
are you okay with the 30-day reset?
I was sooner.
Okay.
I think we could get a result soon. That's why I asked for the 19th or 20th.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you place this on the 19th or 20th?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And that's a plea deadline date.
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Thompson, Judge.
And what page is he on?
I do not have that at this moment, Judge. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
He's on page 2, Judge. 4 down.
All right, Kenneth Thompson. Oh, sir, you can remain seated there. Just make sure you speak up, okay?
He's hard to hear.
All right.
Let me get the prosecutor. Thank you.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 009-687 State versus Kenneth Thompson. Can I have parties announce?
Jenny Callahan defense.
And are you Mr. Thompson?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any applications?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Thompson, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge will be waiving the punishment enhancement, but otherwise proceeding as charged.
Any objections?
No
Defendant?
objection.
Mr. Thompson, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with robbery. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea would not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to a jury trial?
Yes.
A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, how do you plead, Mr. Thompson? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Judge, you have stakes in number 1 and all its actions.
No objection.
And state, have you spoken with the complainant?
We have to.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you.
Mr. Thompson, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Ask the court to follow the plea agreement, please.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. Deputy Laura. On this one? Hello? No, I take care of it though. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 013339 State versus DeAmber Cross. Can I have parties announce?
Alma Benavides from Ms. Kraus.
And are you Ms. Cross? Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any applications in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Cross, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kraus, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record for a moment. State, on this case,
I don't know how she would be a state jail repeater with this one TC trick that was.
oh yeah, so I don't know why they put that in there, but okay. Thank you. No, it's whoever indicted this. Don't take that. All right. Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Ms. Cross, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a US citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her rights to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 months in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's an $800 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No motions, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses file, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
The offer state one in the caption.
We reviewed them, Judge. We have no objections.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we're just asking the court to follow the plea bargain. Currently has 26 days credit.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 6 months in the state jail facility. There's an $800 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors, and the court will give you credit for any time served. And I'll suggest that just 1 second, 6 months in the Bear County Jail, under 1244.
Thank you, Judge.
And the court will give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yes.
Your Honor, did you impose a fine?
Yes.
We would ask for time and money to run concurrent.
Oh, I did.
Okay, thank you.
No
Judge.
problem.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal, because this is a felony conviction, not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about that, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you do not stop using drugs, you know what's going to end up happening? Either you're going to be in somebody's jail, somebody's prison, or somebody's going to have to identify your body. There are many places in Bear County where you can get help. So if you don't know who to call or where to go, you come back here before January 1st. I will still be here, and I'll pick up the phone to try to help you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. May
Thank
we
you.
be excused?
Yes. All right. Who's next?
Thank you.
The letter down, Judge. Thank you.
Millard Cummings. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 009478 State versus Millard Cummings. Can I have parties announced for the record? Oh, 947.
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. Thanks, counsel. Who's next?
Checking right now.
Want it?
Recording price.
Yeah.
Page 7 at the bottom. Let me see if I have that.
Courtney Price.
You've been looking that up in the-
Who's the attorney on Courtney Price?
You left another Courtney. Sorry, guys. Next one I have is Corinne Evangelista, page 10, one down. Mr. Munoz.
Corinne Evangelista. What is happening on this case, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, we are accepting a pretrial diversion offer from the state. We have filled out application. We're gonna turn it on the fourth floor. Can this honorable court respectfully reset it for April 27th so we can get the contract in and hopefully get it worked out before having to come back another time?
All right, Norma, are we able to put this on April 27th?
Yes.
All right, we'll see you back on April 27th. Make sure that everything is completed. And you need to make sure you arrive on time, okay? All right, thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who's next?
Yes, ma'am. Calvin Williams, page 5, 4 down.
Kelvin Williams. All right, where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, the state requested a discovery packet from the Bear County Crime Lab, but other than that, all the discoveries, and I suspect it'll come in the next week or so. I also requested the evidence on the invading arrest since awaiting indictment. I gave a tentative offer, but that might change depending on what the evidence shows.
How old are you?
25.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, set this for a plea deadline date in 45 days, please.
Yes, sir. It would be April 27th.
All right, we'll be back on April 27th. Once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Who's next?
Francisco Alvarado, page 12, 3 down. Judge, can you go just approach real quick on that page?
Judge, I think
Yes.
I'm gonna be out of town on April 27th.
Okay. What date?
We need to either have a week after or a week before.
Do it the week after. What date?
I'll give you 1 second. You can do May 4th.
All right, we'll see you on May 4th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and I'm sorry, who's next?
I had Alvarado.
Francisco Alvarado.
Alvarado.
What page is he on?
Page 12, 3 down.
All right. All right, what's happening with this case?
Well, Judge, he's here on a PSI, but before we start, I just wanted, he came in at 11 because he's got multiple messages from his bail bond company telling him that it's set in here as 11 today. Said over the last couple of weeks, they've sent him that same message many times. He's been here every time in the past on time. And he's, just wants to apologize for being late, but he was just going by what they told him on here.
Okay, so here's my question for you. Did you receive a reset form from this court? You have to have received one because we give resets. And on that reset form, did it say 9 a.m. or 11? It said 9 a.m. So what I can tell you is this court is at 9 and you should know that. Your bondsman is not the judge. Your bondsman is not the court coordinator. Do you understand? All right, can I see the packet for sentencing? Are you ready to proceed with sentencing?
I am, Judge.
All right, I need his paperwork for sentencing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's on Francisco Alvarado. Thank you. Who's the prosecutor on Alvarado?
Here's the next one.
Judge.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 012-615 and 2025 CR 012-61. I'm sorry, 2025 CR 012-621 State versus Francisco Alvarado. Can I have parties announced for the record?
State.
Robert Barons for Mr. Alvarado.
And are you Mr. Alvarado? All right, we are here for sentencing and the cause number ending in 15 according to your plea bargain agreement. Punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. The state is opposed to your applications. This will run concurrent with 2025 CR 012-621. And in the cause number ending in 61, according to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State is opposed to your applications. And have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
State, any objections?
I'm sorry, no, Your Honor.
All right. Any witnesses from either side? Defense, any witnesses?
No, Judge.
All right, state you're opposed. You may proceed.
Yes, Judge, state is opposed to the application. Given the underlying facts, there is a victim in this case. It is an unauthorized use, but additionally, by the defendant's own admission, he believed the vehicle was stolen and yet proceeded to evade cross county lines. He ended up in Bernie. So because of this, Judge, and based on the PSI report, the lack of, I guess, motivation almost, I would just ask that you,
All right. Defense.
Judge, I've read the same pre-sentence report. I don't see any lack of motivation involved. Mr. Alvarado says he wasn't under the influence of anything at the time this happened. He did know the car was stolen, so when he got lit up, as he says, that's when he panicked and took off. He did end up in Kendall County. He's facing the same 2 charges over there for the same incident. And he's been told by his attorney over there that if the case is resolved here with probation, that they will be getting him probation over there as well. That case is set for April 27th, both of those cases. Reading the narrative, he seems to be remorseful as far as I can tell. He says he's extremely regretful. He doesn't have anything in his past. He's got no no contact with the criminal justice system before this. He says he was a calm kid and stayed out of the way and did sports in school. And he's, I think, aware that he was probably with the wrong crowd, and he stated that he doesn't want to go back to hanging out with those folks. So we're asking the court to grant his application, given his the fact that he has 0 priors, and he is remorseful, and he is going to get, double probation. If you grant him probation, then he'll get probation over there too. So he's going to have his hands full for a while. So we respectfully request that you grant his application for deferred.
How old are you? So here's what I don't understand. And I'm not the judge who accepted the plea, a previous judge accepted the plea, so I'm reading your stipulations. I don't understand why you didn't pull over. That's what I don't understand.
Well, I think all he says in the PSI about that judge is that he panicked.
Well, I mean,
I guess he knows he's stolen car and he's not, I don't mean any disrespect, Judge, but he's not the first person to panic and take off, you know, that.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
but I don't understand. He's saying, or at least he's saying through you, that he was hanging around with the wrong crowd, which, you know, if I were talking to other people, they would say they were hanging around the wrong crowd and you're part of the wrong crowd. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand. One, you're saying you don't know the vehicle is stolen. At least that's what your attorney is saying.
No, Judge, that's not at all what I'm saying.
Oh.
He did know that it was stolen. That's the state also.
Okay, so he knew the vehicle was stolen. And
That's why he panicked.
I don't understand why I should follow this agreement. I mean, not follow the agreement, but I don't understand why I shouldn't send him to prison. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. So I want, you know, if there's anything else, defense, that you wish to say, I'm here to hear it.
Well, I mean, Judge, other than what I've already said, this is his first contact with the criminal justice system. I know that we don't always give people the chance for probation on the first go around, but luckily no one got hurt in this affair. Like I said, he's going to have his hands full. If you give him probation, he's going to get probation in Kendall County, and he's going to be, you know, under supervision at 2 different courts at once. I don't think there's going to be a problem with him. He's been here every court setting. He's been completely respectful to me all the time. He's calm in this manner that you see here as his normal manner. As far as I know, he's been completely compliant and cooperative with me in any requests that I've made. I just don't think that you're going to have any problem with him if you grant him an application.
All right, I'll think about it. I'll have y'all come back at 1:30. All right, who's next? Yes,
Judge, may he be released in the meantime?
no. Jonathan Robbins?
Hello again, Your Honor.
Hello. Court is calling 2025 CR 14242 State versus Jonathan Robbins. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Repeat it for the state of Texas.
Patrick Lawrence for the defense.
Okay. All right, Jessica Doberman or Doberman. And what page is she on, please? Thank you. Thank you. Court is calling 2024 CR 012-671 State versus Jessica Nicole Doberman. Could I have parties announced?
Adrian Bettis for the defendant.
And are you Miss Doberman?
Yes.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Jessica Nicole Doberman who was placed on deferred adjudication for the offense of evading arrest detention with a vehicle on February 4th, 2025 for a period of 3 years? Is that you? All right, state.
Judge again proceeding on violation case number 1, specifically the on or about the 30th day of January.
Oh, is that on a different motion?
It should be on the first amended motion.
All right, did you review the first amended motion to adjudicate with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Judge, on or about the 30th day of January 2026 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Jessica Nicole Doberman, committed the offense of unauthorized use of motor vehicle in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? State.
We're also proceeding on violation of condition number 4, specifically that in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Jessica Nicole Doberman, did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of June, July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2025, a violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
And Judge, finally, we'll be proceeding on violation of condition number 4, specifically that in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Jessica Nicole Doberman, did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of January 2026, a violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
And Judge, the state will waive the remaining allegations.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 1, 4, and 4? The court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 1, 4, and 4? Court, you're gonna have to speak up.
Yes.
Court will find 1, 4, and 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge, the proposed agreement is to revoke the defendant and sentence here 2 years to do and TC.
All right, so what has she done on probation? Did you pay, probation, did she pay the $1,946.55 restitution?
No, Judge.
Has she done anything on probation?
Judge, it does not look like it, Judge.
All right,
May I proceed, Judge?
yes.
Judge, we're in agreement with the 2 years TDCJ. Sometimes there's just not an excuse to give. She was on probation. There were things that she was supposed to do, and yes, she did not do them. But we did reach an agreement with the state quickly, swiftly. She took responsibility for not performing her probation. I would ask the court to take that into consideration and follow the recommendation between the parties.
All right, so did she ever provide a valid driver's license to probation? Because that was part of her agreement, to provide no driving until she produced a valid driver's license to probation. So was a valid driver's license ever produced?
No.
No, Judge.
And what is the violation of condition number 1 that you played true to?
Unauthorized use of motor vehicle.
All right, the court is finding 1, 4, and 4 true. The court is going to the court is going to find you guilty. Court is going to revoke. The court will order restitution of $1,400 $1,946.55. To Nina Lopez. Under cause number 2024 AL 001123. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And the court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? Good luck to you. All right, who's next?
Yes, ma'am.
I do have this.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Dudley.
Oh, wait a minute. This came up on 2025 PF. I don't know why I did that. Just 1 second.
Of course.
I think I didn't have my hands on the home row keys. Oh, it's still coming up. Okay, I don't know why my hands were on the home. Okay, 2025 PF.
04299.
Okay. All right, no. You
Really?
know what? It's still, I think something's wrong with the keys on this computer. Give it to me again, 2025 PF
PF
Mhm.
04
04
299.
299. Let me see if it.
Huh?
Oh, you know what? There's something. Come around here. Let me show you what the computer is doing. Okay, so let me get out of here. Okay, so give it to me again.
2025.
Mhm.
For Foxtrot.
Mhm.
04 299.
Now that's that, right?
Right.
Now watch what happens when I say search.
Who's that?
And see how it changed that?
Yes, it is. Are you on case manager or attorney manager?
Oh, I'm on mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Let me do this. Let me just put in her last name.
Or even better, if I may.
Yes.
Go to advanced search.
Mhm.
And then we can put in sit right here.
Okay, let me,
That's
just 1 second. All right.
103 6175.
That one, right?
That's it.
Okay.
04.
Let's see if it pops up.
Voila.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the computer. Yeah, okay. All right, who's next?
It's a PSI am seeing it both ways, Judge. Or if one, it's just a lot.
That's why.
Hello.
You understand what was asking for? You understand what was asking for?
So we're here for sentencing today, Mr. Brooks is the appointed attorney, and I can forget him he's here earlier, he just had to step out to go to veterans court. However, he is continuing on calling a witness, for his part of the sentencing. We have an agreement for the witness to appear by Zoom. However, the witness, is understand he's a teacher, and so he's only available in the afternoon.
Okay.
And so Mr. Brooks had asked Mr. Martinez if he could stand in right now so that we can ask for it to call this out and for the witness.
Yeah, that's fine.
What she said, Judge.
Okay, you all, we can do it in the afternoon. Okay. All right, thank you. Right, that's gonna be in the afternoon.
Yes.
And what?
And Judge, the witness is available at 1:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Government? Whenever you're ready.
Yes, who do we have?
I have a Jesus Rodriguez, page 3, 4 down.
Jesus Rodriguez.
She, not here, it's or Lindsay Shaw.
All right, we're going up.
Have a Jason. I think it's the last.
All right, who else?
Let me find the page number good for you.
Is it Jason Donahue?
Yeah, I believe so.
Jason Donahue. All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, I filed a motion for speedy trial, so I just need a hearing date on that.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Have them set for trial on Monday.
Yes.
We'll do a jury selection on Monday.
Judge, I'm also setting the 186.
That's okay. We'll have you, we're gonna give
Okay.
people a speedy trial. So Norma, recall this back for Monday for jury trial.
Yes.
And if you all can sign the acknowledgement of discovery for me.
That was signed out.
Okay. All right, we'll see you on Monday for jury trial.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
I don't have anybody else ready, Judge. I was just.
All right, everyone, the court is taking its recess. Everyone else will be back at 1:30.